In the kingdom of Agulu village, there reigned a beloved king who governed with wisdom and compassion. His children, Princess Aneka and Prince Ezaniah, were cherished by their people. However, a dark shadow fell upon their land as a series of tragedies befell the community. Villagers succumbed to mysterious illnesses, streams dried up, crops failed, and hunger gripped the kingdom. Safety became a luxury, and fear pervaded every corner. In desperation, the king summoned the village's chief priest to seek answers. Gathered with the elders in the palace, they listened intently as the chief priest revealed a chilling truth. The kingdom was cursed by a woman accused of fornication. The only remedy, he proclaimed, was to retrieve a golden pot hidden in the depths of the evil forest. Inside this pot lay eggs that, when broken within the village, would appease the spirit of the cursed woman and restore peace. The daunting task ahead left everyone shaken. The elders, fearing for their sons' lives, hesitated to speak. The king, torn and unsure, knew he had no choice but to select 7 courageous young men for the perilous journey into the dreaded forest. As deliberations continued, the kingdom's plight worsened with each passing day. Among the chosen was Okenga, son of a widow and beloved for his resemblance to his late father, Obiagu, a renowned warrior. Princess Neka, knowing Okenga's fate, pleaded tearfully with him to evade the perilous quest. She feared losing him, yet Okenga, fearless and determined to prove himself like his father, assured her of his safe return with the golden pot. Days later, the selection ceremony commenced in the palace, fraught with anxiety and sorrow. 6 men were chosen, and to Neka's initial relief, Okenga was not among them. However, her relief was short-lived as Okenga was called forth as the 7th and final member of the expedition. Devastated, Princess Neka rushed away, overwhelmed with anguish and worry. The kingdom stood at a crossroads, its fate hanging on the success of these 7 brave men who would venture into the heart of darkness. The 7 brave men, chosen for the perilous journey into the evil forest, embarked together, united in their mission to find the legendary golden pot and return triumphantly to their kingdom. As they ventured deeper into the forest, they encountered their first obstacle, a malevolent, sentient tree that pursued them relentlessly. Despite their efforts to outrun it, the tree caught one of the men, devouring him and leaving the others shaken, reducing their number to 6. Princess Neka, deeply distressed by Okenga's dangerous quest into the evil forest, refused to eat and spent her days in sorrowful prayer. Though aware of the forest's notorious reputation for claiming all who entered, she clung to hope for Okenga's safe return. Undeterred by the loss, the remaining 6 men pressed on in their search for the golden pot, but soon encountered another deadly challenge, a monstrous creature that ambushed them from behind. In their frantic flight, one of the men stumbled and was fatally injured, making it easier for the monstrous creature, leaving only 5 survivors. Concerned by the ongoing tragedy, the king convened with his council of elders to discuss the kingdom's plight and seek guidance on their fate. They decided to consult the chief priest to divine the will of the gods. Fearful and unsure of their survival, the 5 men contemplated retreating, but knew retreat was impossible once inside the evil forest. Resolved to fulfill their mission despite their fears, they pushed forward in search of the elusive golden pot. As they continued their perilous journey, the men faced yet another threat, a massive serpent that attacked them viciously. Despite their valiant efforts to defend themselves, they could only watch helplessly as one of their comrades was ensnared and killed by the serpent, leaving them with only 4. Days passed with no word from the expedition, and the king, anxious and desperate for answers, summoned the chief priest once more. The priest, however, could offer no solace as the gods remained silent, leaving the kingdom in a state of uncertainty and fear. The remaining 4 men pushed onward, their resolve hardened by adversity, but tragedy struck again when they fell into a deep pit. Despite their struggles, only 3 managed to climb out, further diminishing their hope and increasing their dread. As time wore on, the kingdom's despair deepened, their once vibrant community now overshadowed by grief and uncertainty. The 3 survivors continued their desperate flight through the forest, haunted by constant fear and uncertainty. In their flight, they encountered a fierce beast that pursued them relentlessly. In the chaos, one of the men stumbled and fell, knowing his fate was sealed as he watched his companions flee. Their number reduced once more, only 2 remained. Back in the village, the people, resigned to the loss of the 7 brave men, struggled to carry on with their daily lives amidst failing crops and dwindling hope. The 2 remaining men, Okenga and Obinaya, pressed on despite their exhaustion, driven by their determination to complete their quest. They encountered an elderly couple offering water, but Okenga refused, while Obinaya, parched and weary, accepted gratefully. Tragedy struck again as Obinaya succumbed to sudden illness, leaving Okenga utterly alone in the depths of the evil forest. Before he passed, Obinaya urged Okenga to survive and fulfill their mission to redeem their kingdom. The chief priest's consultations with the gods remained fruitless, leaving the king and his council in a state of helpless anticipation, clinging to dwindling hope for a miraculous return of the brave men. Okenga, now completely alone and undeterred by despair, continued his desperate flight through the forest, driven by determination and sheer willpower. He encountered countless perils, but pressed on, consumed by his singular goal. Miraculously, after days of relentless pursuit, Okenga stumbled upon the fabled golden pot. Overwhelmed with disbelief and joy, he carefully confirmed if it was truly what he was searching for. Upon his confirmation, he seized Golden Pot without hesitation and fled, spurred on by the hope of delivering salvation to his kingdom. As he ran, Okenga faced myriad dangers as creatures of the forest assailed him, but he pushed forward tirelessly, driven by his singular focus and resolve to deliver the golden pot to the waiting kingdom. He ran continuously, day and night. Exhausted but determined, Okenga finally emerged from the evil forest, carrying the golden pot triumphantly to the palace. The sight of him astonished the king and elders, sparking hope and jubilation among the villagers who witnessed his return. Princess Neka, overjoyed and relieved, rushed to Okenga's side, embracing him with overwhelming gratitude and happiness at his safe return. The chief priest wasted no time in performing the ritual with the golden pot. He poured the eggs on the ground and broke it, unleashing a powerful and resounding thunder that signaled the restoration of peace and prosperity to the kingdom. The villagers rejoiced, celebrating the end of their long ordeal and the return of harmony to their community. Okenga's bravery and perseverance were honored, and the king granted his approval for Okenga to marry Princess Neka, uniting them in joy and ensuring their happiness for years to come.